Hey everyone, Captain Amazing here. Today I want to talk about mods. So let's talk about which mods should you sell that are in your account. So let's jump into it. So this is a difficult question to answer for some mods. For other mods, it's really simple, but it all depends on where you are. Because if you haven't seen my guide, I'll put it in the description and it talks about what mods have high potential for slicing. And if it has high potential for slicing, you shouldn't sell it. But there are some mods that you want to sell pretty much right off the bat. So let's talk about those first because they're the easiest. And it's defense primaries for the triangles, for the triangles, for the arrows, and for the crosses. As you can see, I have some here. For the most part, if they are purple or gold, I'll slice them to see if they have decent enough speed worth keeping, because a 13 speed mod, even though it's offense with defense primary here, I can probably find a home for it. I haven't yet, but 13 speed on a mod is not bad. So the arrows, I don't know why I'm keeping this. Generally, like, it's nice to have one or two accuracy arrows just in case. So I do have that here just in case I need an accuracy arrow for some weird reason. But for the most part, accuracy defense primaries for arrows, triangles, and crosses I sell. So again, if it's free, as in it's gold and it's purple, you can level it to level 12, see if it has a bunch of speed, because you never know. It may just be like a plus 25 speed mod, and hey, easy day right there, right? But otherwise, these I sell right off the bat. Next, let's talk about speed arrows. So speed arrows are a little difficult, and a lot of people ask me, like, what do I do with speed arrows? And you, for the most part, you're looking for percent stats that are complementary to the set. So defensive sets, you can look for things that are like health percent, defense percent. Generally, survivability is great for all these. Offense percent is pretty huge. That's probably the biggest thing I look for in these arrows, but not everyone wants offense percent. Some people want health percent. Some people want just survivability, protection percent, things like that. So you're looking for percentage stats that are good, and that's pretty much what you want to do here. But as far as selling these, what I do is I go through each set and I'll cull these when I have too many. Like these, I have way too many speed arrows here. So if I start notice, hey, I'm running out of speed and I need to, or I'm running out of space and I need to start selling mods, then something like this I would still keep. It has tenacity, health, and offense. No matter where it lands there, it's a health set. So if it lands on a ton of tenacity, I could use it. If it lands on a ton of health, I can use it. If it lands on a ton of offense, I could use it. If it lands on a bunch of defense, like literally if here, let's say I roll this to 12, and where'd it go? So this one, 3 hits on offense, 2 on tenacity, 1 on defense. This is actually a good arrow because 3 hits on offense is actually really good. So I can take this into and make it a 5 dot mod, or make it a 6 dot mod if I wanted to. But let's try to find one here that's like little luster lacking. So I must have culled these earlier because some of these they all pretty much have decent percent stats on them. A lot of them have percent offense. But if I had something that just had like flat stats on it, so let's see if I can find one with just like super flat stats. All right, so this one right here, if I wanted to, and this one pretty much as well is okay, but nothing too great. So this one, it has a whole bunch of flat stats here in defense percent. I really don't like this one. So if I was looking, okay, I had to sell some of these, then 100% I would sell this one because it's really crappy and it doesn't have any of those percent stats. So if it has percent offense, chances are I'm going to keep it. If it has percent health with a health set, then I'm gonna keep it. If it's just a bunch of garbage like this, percent health, offense, The protection and defense, it really doesn't matter, but that's what you're looking for, percent stats for the arrows. So I try to keep at least 4 of the speed arrows. It depends on your need. I don't need as many speed arrows, so here I would go in and look and see like, okay, what isn't good, what do I not need, and if I don't need them, then I'll sell them. So just to call them, like this one, flat health, flat defense, flat protection with potency, even though it's like 15 dot, it's already level 15 and I get the 30 speed. I have more than enough mods here where I can just sell this and not feel bad about it, because there's nothing really going on with it that I'm enthused about. So I would go through and look at my arrows and see, okay, what's not good, what doesn't have good potential here, and if it doesn't have good potential, if it's just like a really crappy mod, then I'll sell it to make some space. But you do want to keep speed arrows laying around for when you build mods, because these are always useful. Even if they have all flat stats, it still gives you 30 speed, and if you just need that on the character, you can still need it. But when you have too many of them, then you want to sell them. All right, so let's start talking about pretty much all the other mods here. So let's make a filter real quick. Resalt. Let's look at pretty much all the primaries except for speed that's unassigned. Yeah, let's go do that. Let's filter mods. Let's make it only unassigned mods, because we're probably going to want to do that. And let's talk about what mods we want to sell here. So generally, if you have mods that have decent speed, as in 14 plus speed, you never, especially if it has 3 hits, you never want to sell these. They all have potential to be 6 dot mods. So if anything has the potential to be a 25 plus speed mod, you never want to sell that. But if you look down here, I have a ton of like +8s, +9s, and that's really where my floor is on mods. So these aren't worked yet, so that's why they're like 4 speeds. But this isn't worked yet, but like this 5 speed on a protection, I should sell that. After you work your mods, and if you can see like this, I think it's on a set, so I can't sell it because it's on a loadout, but I don't have a lot of +5 or 5 speed mods that aren't worked, because my floor is 7 speed. But even then, I'm going to start increasing my floor to pretty much like 8 speed. So anything that's like 6 speed or lower after I've worked it, which means after it's been taken to level 12, I sell. So it depends on, of course, the level that it is. So for like gray mods, I'll work all of them, and anything that has 3 or less speed, I sell. Anything with green that has 7 or less, I sell. Same thing blue, 7 or less, purple 7 or less, and then 5A 7 or less, I'll sell. Because I have to have space for my unassigned mods. So let's go to any tier 5 dots unassigned mods, and if we manage these, how many? So I have 364 out of 500 mods, because I'm a few days from work. Like in 1.5 days I'll work my mods, so I have mods sitting here that aren't worked. But there's people who sit here close to like 4, maybe close to 500 mods sitting in their inventory, and they don't have the space to work mods. So it's important, as you're working your mods, you create mods that have that you have high potential mods, and you work those. And then if you have the mods that are really not great in speed, you sell them so that you can get more mods into your account. And then let's talk about primaries and secondaries. So if there are some sets that just aren't as useful, so if you have like tenacity mods with no tenacity, and it just has like okay lackluster speed, like this one I don't mind selling, because it's not very good. It has tenacity, a little bit of speed, 8 speed, and then 2 flat stats and crit chance. This isn't a good mod. I'll probably never use this, so I'll sell that. But you look at that compared to this mod where it's same amount of speed, 8 speed, but it has 5.4% tenacity on its tenacity mods. I could use this because it's tenacity with the tenacity set, and then the speed's okay. So there's mods that you want to keep, and it's not always about just the speed and just the set and everything. So you have to look at the mod as a whole on what you want to sell. So let's sort these by speed. And as you're working these high potential mods, the goal is to increase the speed of all your characters, not just like your top tier. Of course you want those 25 plus speed mods, but you also want these like 10, 11, 12, 13 mods that maybe didn't work out. These are still good mods that you can equip on your characters that can round out your speeds so that you can have decent speeds on all your characters, so that your characters can perform at a high level, even if they're like a C or a D tier character that you use. Like, because there's some characters that just don't have to be super fast, and there's characters that do have to be super fast. So a good example is like Rogue One. I think my Radis is in the 340s or 350s speeds, and then my Jhin is just 30 something, just barely over 300. But the majority of her mods are just like mid-tier mods, like 10 to 13 speed mods, and then I have one good mod on her, and that's it. But she's usable because I've increased the floor of all my mods and not just the ceiling. So that's why it's important that when you're done working your mods, you go through and you look at your characters and you say like, okay, where can I improve the speed on my mods? Where do I have mods that are just sitting there that they could be faster, right? So like 9 speed, that's pretty slow. I doubt I'll have something faster than that. But you go through here, you're like, okay, I don't have anything faster there. I don't have anything faster there. So you're like working these characters to see, do you have faster mods that you can equip on these characters? And I do. I can increase his speed by like 2. So you have to go through and look at these mods, and you find characters that have like lackluster mods that are really slow, like this one, a +7. So I'll go speed, 10 speed mod, yeah, whatever. So I'll sign that, and then I can go and sell that 7 that's in my account. Same thing, like this is an 8. Do I have something better here? This is a 10. So I'll go ahead and equip that, and then if I want to, I can sell that 8. So as you go through and you work these mods, you start finding characters that are unused, that are just like on the bottom of your roster, that just aren't that important to you. And then you try to find like, do I have mods here? Like this is a +5 speed mod on him. So here, I can give him whatever. I don't really care about this character, but I'll give him a +8. So now I can take that +5 speed mod and sell it out of my account. So this one for speed, here I'll give him like a 9 speed or 7 speed health, and I can sell that 4 speed one, and then 8 speed, 9 speed. So you're just going through and you're going to start upgrading the floor, and then the ones that I unequipped, I'm going to sell out of my account, and then that creates space for your account so that you can sell them. So the big thing that you're looking for is lackluster. If they are mid-tier, like barely hitting the floor for your speeds, are the secondary stats decent? Are the sets good? Are they bad? And then you work through that. So if you have mods that are like crit chance primaries or offense on a non-offense or health mod, then chances are you can sell those. So like crit chance is not used very often. Same thing as offense. So if you have a ton of these, just look at like, what do I have a ton of in my account? Do I need it? So chances are I'm not going to need these crit chance ones, so I can go ahead and sell them. So I can sell that, I can take it out of my account, I can find all these other crit chance ones. And it's not that crit chance isn't needed, it's that I have the characters that need them, I have them. So I'm not saying sell your crit chance or your offense primaries, because there are characters that want crit chance or offense primaries here. But if you have a bunch that's sitting here and you're never going to use them, then go ahead and sell them, because they're not doing anything for your account and they're just holding up space. So you have to look at the swgoh.gg and make sure that you're maximizing the sets that you need in the primaries. But as you can see here, like I'm aiming for plus 10s on, is my goal for every single character, is to have plus 10, and I'm trying to remove the slower mods as much as I can, and then when I remove them, I sell them. So that's what you're trying to do here, is you're trying to take every single character that is in your account and you're trying to increase the base speed of them. And it's important to still remember, like, hey, certain characters need primary stats, certain characters need specific sets, and that is more important usually, or sometimes, than just like raw speed. So you have to have a balance between, are these the right mods, and are these like bad speed mods that just need to go? And then you just find characters that you never use. And so as you can see here, my floor before was 7 speed, and I have veteran smuggler Han Solo, and he has like 7 is the slowest speeds on his character. So I just go back and I look at these really old characters that suck, that I don't need. I replace their mods with their plus 3s, no speeds, plus 4s, whatever mods, and I give them mods that are decent speed. So this is a great example here. So this is an untouched character in forever. He doesn't even have an exact mod set. He has plus 4s, plus 5s, 3s, just absolute garbage mods. So I'll just go in here and give him a generic speed and health set. Let's filter the mods. Let's go unassigned mods, and then I can start increasing the floor of my characters and get this character's mods out of here, like defense with 8 speed, no tenacity. That's pretty garbage. I don't need that in my account. So this is a decent one. So 9 speed with offense. Maybe one day I'll need it, and so I'll just leave this here for him, and same thing. I don't need these mods. They're just like here sitting in my account. So 8 speed, speed 1, maybe I'll need it another day, maybe I won't. It doesn't really matter. 10 speed on a speed square, I'll just assign it, because it's just sitting in my account doing absolutely nothing. So crit chance, I don't really need crit chance. I don't really need offense. This crit damage with 8 speed, that's not bad, right? So maybe one day I'll want to have that there. So maybe one day I'll want to work it, or maybe one day I'll need a crit damage triangle, and I'll see that one in my account, and I'll be like, yeah, I'll slice this one time and see if it hits speed, and then continue to work it. But as you can tell, it has like flat stats and defense. But what I'm doing here is I'm taking out straight garbage mods, replacing them so on my character, so that I can get those garbage mods out of my account, and then I can go in and find those ones that I just pulled off him and sell them, so that they're no longer in my account. And what I just did there is I'm increasing the overall mod quality of my character, or of my mods, without having to really do much. So now I can go in and sell these like really crappy mods that I just like pulled off that character. So and that's what you want to do. You want to come in here and you want to get rid of these mods. See, so now I replaced these ones that don't have speed, that have very low speed, because they're crappy mods and they're just been sitting there in my account, I can sell them, and now I freed up space from my mods, and I'm increasing the overall quality of my of the mods in the entirety of my account, not just the top end, so the bottom too. And that's what you want to do. So you want to find those old crappy mods, take them out of your account, sell them. You want to clear the space here of mods that are just taking up space. Sometimes it's speed arrows and you need to cull those. Sometimes if you have these arrows here, and if you look at arrows that have primaries that aren't speed, so if you filter those and you're like, okay, what am I never going to use here? And you just have to take a look at it. Like this is decent, but am I ever going to use a crit chance with offense primary with 9 speed? Probably not. So I can probably go ahead and sell this. And sometimes you want protection, doesn't really matter, slow or this one. I don't really care about the speeds on a defensive set because there's some characters that just want this type of set. But like, I don't think I'll ever use this. It doesn't meet my standards for slicing. It has a good amount of crit chance, but it's not a very good mod as far as it no longer has the potential for me to slice, which means it'll never be better than what it is. And I'm never going to equip a 9 speed arrow because now I'm losing a guaranteed 21 speed, possibly 23, for just having an offense primary, which it will never be 6 dot. So I just don't have any use for it, so I'll go ahead and sell that. So you're looking for mods like this that you just don't have any more purpose for. And same thing like this, health with health, flat health, no health. It's just not very good. I'll still keep it because you never know when you need more health primaries. But like, you want to get rid of just stuff that you don't need, as far as arrows that don't have high potential, because a speed arrow is very strong, where all these still have potential to be 6 dots. So I can keep them because one day I may want to like work these, possibly turn them into a plus 25 speed mod, and then equip them on a character instead of a speed primary, because I still work my arrows. You want to sell sets that you are speed arrows that you have multiples of. If you just have too many, like if you have 20 or 30 unequipped speed arrows of like one set, then go ahead and start. If you want to, you can reveal the secondaries on them and then sell the ones that have like really flat stats or really not great stats. And then you can you want to look at things like the crosses and the triangles that have primaries that aren't that universal. So like tenacity, defense, crit chance, on characters that are offense percent, on ones that are just like you probably never use, because like an offense percent primary on a speed arrow is a very very low chance you'll ever use that. Because if you wanted an offense primary for speed, then, or for the triangle, chances are you would want an offense set. So you would want something like this with offense. There's characters that want something like that who have special damage because they have an extremely low crit chance, like a Grandmaster Yoda, or Bo-Katan Mandalore wants an offense percent triangle, Ben Solo, stuff like characters like that. But this I can sell because I know the chances of me needing it is very low. But if it had already hit really high speed, then it could still be a speed arrow, which could still be good by secondary stats. And same thing like crit chance. There's not a lot of characters that want crit chance. There's like Beskar Mando, there's Geonosian Soldier, there's other Jin wants a crit chance primary. So there's other characters that want them, that you just want to keep them. But things like this, so defense percent primary, no tenacity here, lackluster speed, go ahead and sell that. So a lot of this is you have to use your best judgment on how to clear the space. But essentially what you're doing is you want to make sure that you have enough space to get new mods into your account so that you can continue working them. So you're taking out mods that don't hit speed thresholds of your floor, and your floor may be 5 speed, so you may not have a fully developed account that has all the that has as many mods as you need. And so you may say like, hey, if it has 5 speeds, I can work it, so, or I can equip it. And that's fine. So anything that's like floor 4 and below, that's not a gray, you'll sell. But you have to have that floor so that you have enough space of unassigned mods sitting in your account. And I do have a good amount of these like 10s, 11, 12s or whatever. And I do try to equip them as best I can, but sometimes I just go in here and I'll just like, if I have the max, I'll sell a lot of these like 9 speed purple ones because they no longer have the potential, or 8 or even 7 ones. I'll sell them because I have replacements that are better, like 10s, 11, 12s, 13s that I can replace them with, and then I'll sell them. A 9 speed on blue, you can still slice one time. I generally don't work these all that often unless I need their specific primary and set. So sometimes I'll just like work all my blues that are 9s, and when I'm trying to like mod a specific character, I'll have a bunch of these and I'll slice them to see what will hit. And then all these 9 ones, they'll be like purple and 9 and pretty lackluster, and then maybe I'll sell them then if I don't have a spot for them. So that's pretty much what you got to do. You got to go through and manage your mods, and this is how you focus on what you have to sell. And I know it's kind of convoluted, it's a little more difficult, but overall you can get a feel for like what your account needs, and you need to increase that ceiling as well as that floor. Make sure you have enough space for your mods to be worked, so ensuring that you're not clogging up all these 500 unassigned mods, and that you're continuing to get new blood as far as mods into your account, and then you're culling these speed arrows if you have too many of them. And I would say minimum 4 is great to have for each set, so that you can have the flexibility of modding characters, because a speed arrow will always be useful, but sometimes if you farm a lot of mods, you'll just have a lot of them. So yeah, that's pretty much what I have to say about this. Let me know if this helped you. Hopefully it wasn't too convoluted and too philosophical for you, but I generally think that if you try to focus on having a decent raising your floor and your ceiling at the same time, then your mod score and your general performance of your account will improve overall, and then you'll start having some space to continue working your mods, because it has to be a sustainable system that you're continuing to build. All right, so thank you everyone for listening, and I'll see you all next time. Take care.